Kiros came to Obassi's pride to kill him in the Mufasa movie. And two brothers, Mufasa and Taka, needed to ran away. So probably Obassi, Eshi, and the rest of the pride were killed. But wait, is Eshi Scar's mother really dead? Because if you also watch The Lion Guard 3rd season, you can look at some familiar lioness. We all know Janna as the grandmother of Rani and the queen of the Tree of Life in The Lion Guard. She welcomed Kion and his guard when he needed healing, but unfortunately, she tragically died of old age. But have you even wondered, what was her backstory? And were there any Lion Kings before her in the Tree of Life? Disney has not given us much about Queen Janna's past and origin. But what if I told you that she might be Scar's mother from the newest Mufasa movie, Eshi? When film has shown up, I have found many reasons to believe that Queen Janna was actually Eshi from Obassi's pride. Because we can look for a couple of keys and connections with the Lion Guard, which make the theory more true. That Eshi and Queen Janna are one and the same. Pay close attention because we will understand better. Why could Eshi be Queen Janna from the Lion Guard series? And all reasons will make sense. So let's start with basic things which we can find in these two lions. Night and Obassi's prides have a similarities, not just in their skin, but most importantly, Queen Janna has the same green eyes as Scar, but it actually doesn't end there. Well, I can mention their wisdom. Especially Eshi. She was a wise lioness. For example, even though Mufasa was a cub from the outside, Eshi stopped Obassi from banishing him and insisted on giving the cub a chance to live in their pride. Also, during the brothers' race, she told him that Taka must earn his throne and not simply get it by his royal blood. She raised him among the lionesses and taught him the circle of life, which helped Mufasa because as an adult lion, he became the brave, smart, and strong lion we later see in the story. The same case with Queen Janna, when she gave Rani wise advice on what to do with the Lion Guard, who invaded their land and allowed Kion to enter and stay here, which is similar between both universes. Now, to see the whole picture, let's come to Eshi's background. When little Taka saw a cub who would almost be eaten by the crocodiles, he takes a chance to save the same little cub from the crocodile's attack and asks his mother to stay here for this cub. But his father, King Obassi, was very angry to see him because he is an alien cub and very furious to hear his name, Mufasa, which means king. However, Taka's mom, Eshi, said that we should adopt him and give little Mufasa a chance. But Obassi laid down his condition. They must race. If Mufasa wins, he may stay and live among the lionesses. But if Taka wins, Mufasa will be banished. After Mufasa's victory, Obassi wasn't happy. But he kept his word and accepted Mufasa, but only with the lionesses. And he grew up under Eshi's training. Two brothers grew up into adult lions. Taka with Obassi and Mufasa with Eshi. But one day, their life suddenly had changed. Mufasa and Eshi went hunting together, as they always did. But before they knew it, they were about to be attacked by two big and unknown white lions that were from the Outsiders, the pack of lions who eliminates every lion's pride. Eshi told Mufasa to run off, but Mufasa was brave and gave a big resistance to them by killing one of the white lions and banishing the other. But at the same time, Eshi watched how her son Taka just observed and escaped because of fear to help them. Eshi and Mufasa arrived to warn Obassi and the rest of their pride. But in another place, Kairos, the evil leader of the Outsiders, built a plan to attack them again, but with all the members. The next day, Taka's pride already figured out Kiros' next attack because of Chigaru, who was sent by Obassi to chase. But Obassi with Eshi made this strong decision, tried to delay their attack as long as they could, while Mufasa and Taka needed to escape far away. And in that moment, we never saw Obassi, Eshi, and the rest of their pride again. If Scar's mother is actually Queen Janna, how could she survive the Kiros attack? As we know from the Lion Guard, Janna has two children, her son Surak and daughter Ananda. But wait, does it mean Eshi must survive? Because of the reason Queen Janna had a legacy. It led us to the possible event that, besides Mufasa and Taka, Obassi also sent other members of his pride away to survive and keep his pride's existence. So at this moment, we can assume Eshi with part of pride probably survived, but Kiros needed to find Mufasa and Taka to get revenge for his son. But we see a similar situation if you remember that Mufasa's mother Afia was alive in Milele, but without Mufasa's father Masego, who was supposed to have also died from Kiros' attack. Therefore, Eshi could survive in the same way. And besides, we have an additional reason to believe in this theory. Obassi's shade tree is likely the tree of life, the magical place where Kion with his guard went to find healing. But I think there is another main reason for how they could be the one lioness. Because two lions are closely tied to their trees, and now we will figure out that shade tree is the tree of life, or became the tree of life. First, if we look at the Lion Guard's way from the Pride Lands to there, on their way, they saw many new places, including some snowy mountains, canyons, deserts, and jungles. Well, it doesn't remind you of anything, because Mufasa's squad had the same places on his way in the movie. It may seem an obvious point, but if you are not convinced yet, let's explore some deeper reason. Second, maybe after Kiros' attack, Shade Tree received new life, which transformed her into the Tree of Life. But let's dive deeper into this reason. It might be the key that makes everything fall into place. We all remember that before Kion, Scar was the leader of the Lion Guard. But one day, he lost his roar because he used it against his fellow lions. Therefore, the greatest lions of the past saw Scar as having bad blood, exactly the case with his reign, which destroyed the Pride Lands, making all the animals leave, and Obassi's influence could also have helped lead him down that path. Kiros, in his song Bye Bye, mentioned he is terrible leader who just always lies, his laziness, and his failure in following king duties. I consider Obassi's bad rules as a reason for the destruction of the magical tree, especially like in the Lion King one. But that's not the end, as we have more than just bad rules. It all starts with Askari, the first holder of the roar and leader of the Lion Guard. If Askari lived near the Tree of Life, how did the roar make its way to the Pride Lands? And we also know that his spirit lived in the Chica Escarpment, which is nearby there. That might sound confusing at first, but it's actually surprisingly simple. The greatest lions of the past are the ones who gave Scar the roar. This suggests that Scar likely was a part of Askari's bloodline. Therefore, the Pride Lands got the roar through Scar. But what about the Lion Guard group? How did it come to be? The main key is Rafiki because he already knew about the Tree of Life, Queen Janna, the roar, and the legends from Askari, since he met little Makini there. As Mufasa's advisor, Rafiki may have told him about Scar's roar and knowledge, which he got from Askari's legends. So that's why their two trees are closely the same. Obassi is a part of Askari's bloodline, who not only created the Lion Guard, but possibly founded this magical tree, like Mufasa did with Milele. But let's return to Queen Janna. She lost many lions of her pride, including her husband and children. But she chose to continue ruling as queen of this place and, with her children and other members, build a new life here. Therefore, she might create the Night Pride to make sure such an attack could never happen again. So, what do you think? I came up with this theory because it's strange that we never learn about Janna's real husband or how Sahasi and Ananda died. Also, the new Mufasa film left a lot of suspicious clues. Of course, it's just a theory. It might not be true, but I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss future videos. See you next time.